guys in the dark.
My ex-girlfriend had stopped by to visit. I had just eaten enough Chinese food at a buffet to be near passed out. I was lying on the blow-up mattress. I hear her growl, "You son of a bitch!" And then boom, she punched me in the teeth. I asked her what the fuck her problem was. At the time, I was broke, so I didn't have any furniture. Everything was neatly placed in the room, including my condoms. She counted them and noticed one was missing from the last time that she visited. I scrambled up. She spit in my face. I told her to just leave and walked to the door. That's when she opened up the cabinet, took out the toaster oven, and threw it at the side of my head. My head was ringing. Glass was all over the floor from the broken oven door. Blood is trickling all down my head. I was panicked. I didn't want to hurt her, but she had to leave immediately. I told her that I would call the cops if she didn't leave my apartment. The whole time, in between assaulting me, she was frantically glancing around the room for other signs that I was cheating on her, even though I was single, and for stuff to assault me with. I opened the door to encourage her to exit. She started screaming. She said that she'd get everyone in the neighborhood thinking that I was assaulting her. I pleaded with her to please leave. She started tearing into the bare skin of my chest with her nails, grabbing and pinching and pulling at me. I forced her out the door and locked it. She started bashing at the windows. Finally, she got into her car and left. I slid to the floor, called my parents, in complete shock and sobbing on the phone. I hadn't experienced that kind of crazy in my life before. She just attacked me in a fit of rage. I didn't want to hit her back. I just wanted to be left alone. The whole experience had me wondering about the mental problems she must have been hiding the entire time that we were together. I was so afraid that she would do something crazy like wreck her car to get revenge on me, or hurt my dog, or call the cops with a fake story. It's been 5 years since that day, and it's thankfully hazy now. It's hard to describe what a blur it was. After 3.5 years of abuse and 2 children, my ex-wife decided that she wanted to ruin my life, had me arrested on false charges of domestic violence, which led to a plea bargain due to the fact that we were living on my $10,000 a year income. She refused to work the entire relationship. This led to a 3-year probation, which included group therapy sessions for abusers. During these sessions, patients were required to recount the episodes of abuse and explain where they had made mistakes. Due to the fact that I hadn't actually committed any abuse, I was forced to lie, as lack of participation equals failure to abide by the requirements of probation deal. This led to the judge threatening me with up to 3 years in prison. As a result, we fled the country and set up shop in the Middle East. I was forced to join the army and serve as a combat soldier for 2 years. During the 2nd year of military service, I finally grew some balls. I told her that I wanted a divorce. The resulting meltdown created a situation in which I was forced to flee my domicile. In the process, I forgot to take my ID. She spent the next year forging my signature on rent, phone, water, electrical, and credit card contracts. To this day, I'm still paying off a $200,000 debt that she built up in my name. This figure does not include the debt that she incurred using my ID when she returned to the States. Oh, and she illegally kidnapped my children when she fled the Middle East to return to America. So yeah, I think that I need a drink after all of that. My ex 10 years ago was an abusive alcoholic. I had enough of her false promises and constant crap that I just walked out. In the next few months, she would phone my house drunk, gloating about who she's fucking. Showed up to my parents, drunk, demanding to talk to me. Various times she was verbally abusive to my mother, who basically told her to screw off before she called the cops. Threatened to lie to the police that I sexually abused her son. She threatened to tell the police that bruises on her body, from being drunk all the time and falling over a lot, was from me. Ironically, she was the one who beat me. Told my parents 5 months after I left her that she was 2 months pregnant and it had to be mine. Yeah, okay. She threatened to get her son's alcoholic junkie dad to do you in for not answering her phone calls. Called my boss various times at work, demanding that I be fired for being abusive to her at my workplace, which happens to be a supermarket. He laughed at her and told her finally that she was banned from the shop for harassing his staff member. Probably more, but thinking about it makes me feel like crap. My ex cheated on me for about 6 months without me even knowing about it. We were in bed one night. She rolled over and said, "Get out." I was in shock and had no idea what to do, so I just left. We had joint everything. She canceled my phone, took all the money that I saved out of my accounts, kept my dog that I tried incredibly hard to get back, but most of all, she told her friends, my friends, her family, and my family all over social media that I had choked her and beat her, and she left to save her own life. She even posted pictures of cuts and bruises that she got from a car accident online, saying that they were all from me. Her car got broken into at a mall, and her stuff was stolen. She told the police that it was me. After I proved to the police that I was working, they quickly looked the other way. After about a year of trying to clear my name, I met the guy who she cheated on me with. At first, I wanted to tear his face off, but after he bought me drinks, I found out that she did the exact same thing to him. A couple of years ago, it was coming to the end of a relationship, and this girl was quite clingy and dependent on me, which is one thing I hate. I suppose I should have seen how unstable she was when I broke up with her. It broke her mind, and started with all the traditional stalker stuff, until I was leaving the house for work in the morning to find a gift that she had left me. It happened to be an eviscerated dog. Well, I was afraid at this point. If she's ballsy enough to cut up a dog on the doorstep, she's unstable enough to come after me. I decided to get the police and the courts involved. She's okay now after a few months of suicide watch therapy and a stint in prison for cutting open the dog and spreading it all over my doorstep. I also happen to have a restraining order on her, so I'm hoping that she won't ever try to come after me again.
If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, like, and hit the bell for notifications on future videos and become a stalker of the night. And I'll see you next time.